What's going on, guys? Coming at you from the world famous Stub Cycles in beautiful Houston, Texas. And look what I get to bring to you today, guys. That is the Suzuki V-Strom 800. Ah, man, these middleweight adventure bikes are so hot right now, and for great reason. They offer up a ton of sport and a lot of versatility. Now, the reason why I'm so excited about the V-Strom 800 is because it shares the same engine as one of my favorite motorcycles that I've recently ridden, which is the GSX 8R. That is the same 776cc parallel twin, making about 80 horsepower. Knowing that 8R, it was so punchy. I can't wait to sample it on the V-Strom. Cool thing about this motorcycle, it does have the remote preload adjuster. So if you're going to ride with luggage or a passenger, you can remotely adjust your preload to suit your load, which is awesome. And kind of a cool feature on a bike that is going to see a lot of different types of uses. Now, other unique features, this bike does have an up-down quick shifter and a USB port for charging. It's got a great looking TFT screen, multiple ride modes. Right now we are in A1 with ABS on 1, meaning that that's the most aggressive. Now, in this mode, your throttle response is going to be the most crisp, and as you go down in levels, it'll chill those out if you want a bit more of a relaxed riding experience. Now, this bike does have ride-by-wire. We're going to see if it's got a good ride-by-wire or if it's that weird disconnect. I have a feeling because it's Suzuki, though, it's going to be amazing. This bike only has about 172 miles. Let's give her a fire up, see what she sounds like. Oh, I love it. Parallel twin. Making parallel twin noises. Oh, throttle response feels good. Let's get her on the road. Oh yeah, there's that 776 punchy motor that I love so much. Guys, listen, before I get too deep into this, I need to send a huge thank you and shout out to Hunter, Tommy, and the rest of the crew over at Stub Cycles. Thank y'all so much for allowing me the opportunity to bring you this bike. And I can already tell you, I am liking this. Oh, adventure bikes, a lot of people write them off as being somewhat stodgy, overly heavy or something. Guys, this thing is properly light and nimble. Oh, look at that, is so fun. This type of motorcycle I would have never even thought twice of, but now that I've been able to have the opportunity to throw a leg over this type of a machine and take it out, I've found that they are so endearing and so much fun and so much better in practically every respect than you might initially give them credit for if you're just looking at a spec sheet. And speaking of specifications, this motorcycle weighs about 510 pounds. The Scat Pack over there sounded good. This motorcycle weighs about 510 pounds, making about 80 horsepower. So it's right there in that click, right in the slot when it comes to power to weight ratio, but this parallel twin is properly punchy. Just a quick snap of the wrist, and this bike wants to shove forward. I like it. So all of the character that I remember from that GSX 8R is translated into this motorcycle. Plenty sporty and so flickable. It feels like, I know I said it weighs 500 and whatever pounds. It does not feel like that at all. This bike feels so light. And with the punchy nature of this engine, so willing. Just as an aside, going down the road, we're in basically right in the middle of the morning here, and that TFT screen looks amazing. Nice and clear, no glare of any kind. Go ahead and roll on the throttle here. Yeah, she is nice and punchy. We'll go to the next one. I like this bike a lot. Oh, and that quick shifter. You see how she does. Oh yeah, just as smooth as I remember. So well managed. Upshifting, downshifting. Oh, it's seamless. Absolutely perfect. But the main character on this bike is what gives it the most character, is that engine. So ready and so eager and so punchy in a way that you wouldn't really expect it. You know, a lot of folks will downplay the parallel twin and say, well, you know, it doesn't have a lot of character or what have you. Listen, this is an exception to that. That 270-degree firing order with this engine. And keep in mind, there's some pretty trick stuff going on in this motor, namely almost 13-to-1 compression ratio. It gives it a lot of efficiency and a lot of punch. And just an addictive roll into the throttle mid-range jab that is so much fun. Oh my goodness, guys. I get it. I really do. These middleweight adventure bikes taking off the way that they have for a lot of good reasons, but this V-Strom 800, what a fun machine. So I am just shy of 6 feet tall. I've got a 32-inch inseam, and I'm on the balls of my feet. Bike feels unimaginably light underneath me. I understand that it might say 500 pounds. I cannot. This isn't what 500 pounds feels like, at least not in my brain. This feels so much lighter. Transmission is silky smooth too. The clutch pull is nice and easy. The steering is nice and easy. Just the bike, I don't know what kind of magic Suzuki is working with motorcycles like this, but it really feels so much smaller and so much more eager. This feels like a bike you could have a ball with on your favorite B&C road, little bit of off-road, fire road type of a scenario. Let's go ahead and get on the highway here. A little bit of a power wheelie in first gear. That's okay though. Oh, this bike is so good, guys. Visibility out of the mirrors is nice, not buzzy, not vibrating at all. Oh, guys, this is a fun bike. And they don't cost a lot. This motorcycle, with all the suite of features that it has, less than $10,000. So for a 4-figure price, you get a bike that in 6th gear will just absolutely motor around traffic, no problem, and is effortless in its approach to performance. It's not overwhelming, it's very smooth. You're riding this wave of torque all the time, but exceptionally light and exceptionally lively. Tons of comfort, not only in the riding position, but in the suspension setup as a whole. Guys, I don't know how you could go wrong if you're in the market for a middleweight sport utility adventure bike style of motorcycle, that urban assault type of a bike. You're looking for a commuter that you can take camping, off-road, do a little bit of everything with. For only $10,000, it's less than $10,000. Actually, about $300 or $400 shy of $10,000, and you get all the performance and all the character of this thing. I love this bike so much. I am so into these adventure bikes now. I gotta admit, I am a little bit biased maybe in that respect, but this V-Strom is fun. And it just has a punchy, fun nature to it. And again, we're at 6th gear, highway speeds, no need to downshift, just roll into the throttle and look at her collect mile an hour. And it's a middleweight, guys. Oh. Quick shifter on the downshift, doing nicely. Oh man, what a fun bike. No pretense whatsoever to this either. I mean, it is just a motorcycle doing motorcycle things, being entertaining and practical at the same time. You know, a bike like this, you can, because it has that remote adjuster for preload, you can just dial in a bit more preload if you wanted to throw some boxes on this thing, use it as a fair weather commuter, or again, it's an adventure bike, so go do adventure-y things with it. I mean, God, this thing is just so versatile, and because it's a middleweight, it's super light, it's gonna handle well. This thing is just a riot to ride. So much fun and so much better than I could have ever given it credit for. But I am, or was, new to this adventure motorcycle scene. I know a lot of folks have told me that I'm really missing out. And it's handling these bumps and undulations in the road so well. There's an inner part of me that is absolutely crying to get this thing off-road and to put some air underneath these tires, because I have a feeling this machine would be overwhelmingly accommodating in that respect. So in terms of, you know, what does it feel like at low speeds? Is it top heavy? Some people worry about these bikes being top heavy in some respect. Guys, not at all. I mean, this motorcycle, I can absolutely just weave and meander with it. It feels, God, this thing feels like it weighs about 150 pounds less. I mean, it just effortlessly go through a little MSF course there for you guys. Golly. Oh my goodness, guys, this is properly fun. What a neat combination of utility and sportiness and just fun. It's like having a two-wheeled buddy. Oh, what a neat bike, guys. I'm going to give you all some parting shots of the Suzuki V-Strom 800. And again, a huge shout out to Hunter, Tommy, and the rest of the crew over at Stub Cycles for allowing me the opportunity to bring you this motorcycle. Get out here, grab the keys to this thing, and take it for a spin. I have a feeling you might be going home with it, because, guys, this has been some of the most fun I've had on a motorcycle in a long time. And with that, guys, I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Hope to see you on the next one. Take care.